Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Madroit podcast. I, of course, am Jordan Haynes. Alongside me, Winston Hofer, founder and CEO of Madroit. And guys, on the Madroit podcast here, we talk about a wide variety of marketing topics, and we're going to cover a lot of ground on how they pertain to your business specifically and help your business grow. And today, we're talking about a topic that is typically at the forefront of every growing business. And that, of course, is employee recruitment and why it comes down to marketing. So, first off, here, when I'll throw this your way, is what are we talking about when we talk about employee recruitment and how it pertains to marketing?
Yeah. So employee recruitment, vital function of the company. It's the process of finding, attracting, and hiring the best candidates to fill positions in your company. It involves everything from creating job descriptions to the hiring process and then onboarding new employees.
And I know that a lot of folks already do have a good idea of what we're talking about when it comes to employee recruitment, but that's why I think diving into these topics are so important and valuable because we all know hiring the wrong person can be costly, right? That can really lead to a lot of wasted time and lost productivity, and even potentially just be harmful to your company culture, bringing in that wrong person. So, taking the time, mapping it out, doing it right is crucial because your company's success can depend on the people that you're bringing in. And poor recruitment, as we know and as we've experienced firsthand, can lead to higher turnover, inefficiency, and overall, from a very human element, frustration with your teams. And things like that can be contagious by just making one little mistake or just trying to cut one little corner with this.
Yeah. Bringing the wrong person, it is contagious, right? Like one bad egg can ruin a day, a week, a month, the work environment for multiple team members. And once that happens, that is contagious, like a cancer. I think that's why it's important for everyone, right? Like getting this right, it's vital for every business of every size, whether it's first employee, your 100th, right? Might have a little more leeway, but when you're a small company, small being like under 100 as far as employees go, it's just so critical. So it's not really an HR function to me, or at least it shouldn't be. To me, marketing is you're selling someone on working for you. You're marketing and selling someone for working for you, with you. And I don't know if you met many HR people, they're typically not salespeople, right? And that there's definitely a role for them in it. But as far as promoting and getting the right people in the door, it's just so important to do it right. So having the job description written in a way that actually promotes and makes your company appealing to work for and at least apply, because it takes time and energy to apply. So that's like the highest part of the funnel as far as recruiting and hiring someone is like, what do they see first thing, first impression about your company? So that's why I just don't think it's an HR function at that point. And then the hiring process, like who's the first person they talk to? You have to sell them as much as they have to sell you.
Big time. And we're not taking a shot for all the HR people out there listening. We're not taking a shot at you, but it really does come down to, are you selling the role? Are you selling the company? What tactics and what platforms are you using when it comes to selling that role and selling your company to attract the highest and best quality talent that's available? Because as we know, recruitment happens across multiple platforms, right? You have things like LinkedIn, Indeed, there's social media, internet referrals, a friend of a friend, and not to mention recruitment agencies. But with so many different avenues out there, businesses really need to ensure that the job openings are visible on all those platforms where potential candidates could come, because you never know when you're going to find that ideal person to come into your organization that's going to make a huge change. So ultimately, it's important to reduce the friction for them to be able to apply so that the process is easy, seamless, and efficient, not just for the person applying, but also for your team internally too, right?
Big time. And depending on the business, like a local service company, recruitment should be an ongoing strategy because the turnover is a bit higher, right? Could be seasonal. So you need to be able to turn that machine on as far as recruiting and hiring. So you need a proactive approach. Helps avoid rush and poor hiring decisions.
Yeah, I think it always comes down to, you're always marketing your company, right? You need to constantly be putting it out there, constantly making sure that your company is at the forefront of people's minds when they're considering, if it's considering a move or considering a new career path, what have you. There's never an opportunity when you're not looking for a great person to come into your company and make an impact. I think that leads us into successful recruitment. What does that look like when to you?
So, successful recruitment involves creating a great job description. You really want to cater to the person you're actually trying to hire, not catering to everyone. And then you want to use the right platforms, make it easy for someone to apply, right? Reduce the friction, and thoroughly vetting candidates is really important.
That's one thing that I like because you said this in another one of our podcasts previously, where sometimes it's not just about showing and being available for people to want to do business with you. This is very much the same, right? You may not be the right fit for this role, and that job description is going to tell you very plainly if this is a good fit for you, if this is not a good fit for you. Because if those are left too vague, it acts very much as advertising, right? Where you're casting with a broad net, and now you're collecting more, but more does not mean better.
Yeah.
And then I think that helps you with your vetting process, right? Going through some of those interviews and like skills assessments. And that's going to help you ensure that your onboarding process is now linked up with your marketing efforts. And now you're generating data driven results to get the highest quality candidates. And people, and for some folks, I know that experiences that we've had previous, that's going to be like a game changer, a huge game changer, because they're used to going through X amount of interviews or X amount of resumes and just banging their head against the wall. But now your pool of candidates is really going to truly be who you want. And it acts much as lead generation does with marketing.
So true. So true. I think in all of that, you still need to streamline things, right? And weed
Big time.
people out. The interviews, you can make it easy to schedule that interview, or you can make it challenging depending on what type of candidate you're trying to find, right? But you want to make it easy. You want to make communication easy as well. So it's like a funnel. You could have a landing page for it, a video selling who you are, why someone should work with you, some information about your company. To me, it's you just create an authentic experience where they don't have to blindly apply and then just hope that everything turns out and you're a great company to work with. So you want to streamline things with automation, tests to like vet and weed out people before diving too far into like several rounds of interviews.
I would 1000% agree. And I'm going to throw this actually right back at you because I love this from earlier. You're telling me, you're giving me like an analogy with how you view recruitment. And I thought it was so cool. And if I can, I just want you to share that with everybody if you could.
Yeah. So recruitment to me, I think we talked about it, right? Like it's just like assembling a championship sports team. You don't want any player, you want the right player for the right position. Not looking only at skills. You're not only looking at skills, but you're looking how they will fit together with the rest of the team, ultimately to win the game, right? And be successful as a business organization.
Yeah, 1000%. I thought there was something that being a sports not really hit home for me, but also just finding the right pieces to complete the puzzle, because ultimately that's what you want. You want your business to operate as a championship team, regardless, sports, business, whatever. You want them working together towards one common goal, and that is to be successful. So again, guys, the main point here is the key to successful recruitment is strategic, proactive approach. And it's about attracting the right talent, vetting them thoroughly, ensuring that they align with your company's goals, have firm understanding of what those goals are, and ultimately fit your culture and the long-term future of the company as well. All right, friends, that's our episode for today. Please make sure to like and subscribe to our podcast here, wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you have any questions that you want us to talk about on the podcast or want to get in touch with us, please visit madroitmarketing.com/podcast. Everybody have an amazing day, and we'll talk to you soon.